Okay, I wanted to spend a couple of minutes talking about wiring harnesses here. And this is an example of one of the wiring harnesses that come with an aftermarket product for the Cybertruck. And you can see, I've clipped the wires, these 3 wires that went to that particular product. In fact, I think this was maybe the LED dash strip, where there's a red wire, which is 12 volt positive, a black wire, 12 volt ground, and then pink wire, which in this case is a 5 volt. And what you can see by peeling back this wiring harness is they've in essence tapped in the pink wire. So the pink wire is still connected at this end of the fitting, and at this end runs all the way through. They've just tapped off of it. Great, that's what you ought to do. And you can see they've done the same thing for the black wire. So the black wire is in this fitting. It's also, if we go down here, it's also in this fitting, and again, they've just tapped into it. But here's where things are a little bit different. This is the side coming from the truck, from the power from the truck, and the number 1 pin right here is red, that red wire, so number 1 pin, okay, and that's supplying 12 volt power, all right, positive. But notice what they didn't do. They didn't tap into it and run this all the way down to this fitting where the number 1 wire is missing. So anything downstream of this item plugged in, so if this is a mirror, if this is a second monitor, if it's an LED strip, whatever third-party accessory you have using one of these tap-in points, if they don't run the wire down, then you don't have 12 volt power, and you probably don't have the speaker working in your A-pillar, or who knows what, wouldn't work, wouldn't daisy chain on beyond that, you couldn't do power. So what I thought I would do is, well, let's take one of these others, and you can see here's yellow wire that was the number 1 power. Here's the ground that they tapped into. They didn't tap into the 5 volt because it wasn't needed for this particular accessory. I don't remember which one this is. And I basically destroyed, well, when I say destroyed, I cut up this fitting here at the end to see, yep, sure enough, there are pins, because if we look down inside of here, the number 1 pin is missing. So not only, I could shove a wire down in there, but shoving a wire where there's no pin isn't, sorry if it's a little out of focus, but isn't going to get me anywhere. So I thought, what do I need for a pin? So basically, you have these little wires here that will go into, this is a pin, all right? So the wire will come in here, it'll be crimped on the bottom of that. This will be pushed through this plastic fitting. It pushes through, and once it pushes through, it kind of has like a little, place where it flexes up. I don't know if you can see that in the video, but that kind of locks it into the plastic so it doesn't pull back the other way. Now, I can pull them out this way, but of course that meant kind of destroying the plastic to get at it, but that's okay. I wasn't using this harness anyway, and what I really want is this clip, because what I intend to do is to take this clip, attach it to a wire, have push that pin into here so it lines up with all the other pins and becomes the number 1 pin, have that wire come down here, and then tap these 2 together, and so I can send power out to anything I want to send power out, but power coming from the truck will flow on through to whatever else it needs to flow on to, such as that speaker. So that's my goal. I'm going to try to make my own little custom wiring harness here and see how that works. So I just realized I did not have any extra wire like this. I could just use some from this old harness, but I thought, I'll go to the store. I've got some errands to run. I'll see if I can find some red wire in that size. Looks like it's 20 or 22 gauge. I'll have to check that and see what it is. And then I will crimp it into here. I'll insert the pin. I'll tap it together with this, and then maybe we'll try it in the truck later. But just want to give you a quick overview of why these wiring harnesses that are coming from these third-party vendors are either not daisy chaining power down to other accessories beyond them or cutting out the speaker. It's because they're not fully wired. They tapped correctly for, in this case, ground and 5 volt, but did not tap for 12 volt. They just simply cut it off. I don't know what they were thinking, but that's not the right way to do it. And why these manufacturers can't figure this out, I don't know. But I'm here to solve the problem. This is Tesla Ken for the HaloCybertruck.com website. Stay tuned, I'll be back. Okay, just briefly to describe what I've done here, I've attached the pin to the end of this gray wire. The gray wire I have run down in here to a splicing coupling where the gray wire runs in, the red wire runs in. I clamped this together. It squeezes down, metal bracket inside, and I have the one wire that comes out, which of course then I'll bare the end of that wire to connect it to things in the car, and that would be 12 volt, but then I'm going to put this pin in here in the number 1 pin slot. Okay, I have pushed that wire with the pin into the open slot, and you can see it also comes down, connects to this connector, taps in with the red wire, so that should be 12 volt power being passed downstream courtesy of that pin. Don't know how well you can see inside of there, but it is now complete. There are no missing pins, and again, particularly that one on the end that was previously missing. So now what I would need to do is plug this in the truck and take the positive and negative wires and attach them to something, and then see if not only does it power that, but that I would continue to have power and sound to my speaker beyond this particular wiring harness. So stay tuned for that. Okay, here we are in the truck, and I did try this harness and running the 12 volt down to my 12 volt block of accessories and on the positive side and on the negative side, and I was not able to hear anything out of this speaker. But obviously that speaker's working now with this wiring harness, which is just that one for that front bumper light. Also noticeably shorter harness, so I don't know if length of wire is making a difference, but one thing that I found that is making a difference, even in this harness. So for example, it runs 3 wires down to this box. It runs a pink wire, a red wire, and a black wire. I believe the pink wire is 12 volt, the red wire is 5 volt, and the black wire is ground. So I tapped in to the pink wire, and interestingly enough, if I decide to take this red wire, which goes off to my combo block that powers all of my devices, the LED, the screen, the rear view mirror, I can touch it to here, and I can power up those devices. But now all of a sudden, this speaker starts having a crackle and a hiss out of this speaker. And I recall that early versions of this front bumper light, people who plugged them in, they were getting a crackle or hiss out of the speaker. So the act of drawing 12 volt power away from here to power up the LED light, to power up the screen, to power up the rear view mirror, the act of doing that makes this speaker, makes it buzz. I disconnect it, and the sound in that speaker is just fine. So I'm a bit at a loss of how to power anything out of this connector, and I'm going to go back to just getting my power out of the center console area where it does not affect that speaker. So I'm sorry to say, even wiring up this wiring loom to connect the power through kind of results in the same thing. I either get nothing at all, or if I kind of like move the wires around a little bit, I'll get crackles and pops out of the speaker, but I'm not getting the sound that I should out of the speaker. So something obviously affects that when you change the power draw on these wires for whatever reason that is. The power draw, I think that's just happening here, that goes down to this little box, again for that LED light, isn't hurting the sound out of that speaker. They've managed to do whatever they did to make that work. But again, if I tap into their power source, their 12 volt power source, and try to run something else off of it, then, all heck breaks loose and we just get a bunch of buzzing sounds out of the speaker as opposed to the regular sound that we're wanting. So sorry to say that that's not working. Hopefully someone from Tesla watches this and says, oh, well, to get power out of here and to get accessories to work and to not interfere with the speaker, here's what you need to do. But right now, I don't have an answer for that.